Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. Now this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 6 of Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, otherwise entitled Outlaw Country. But before we get into anything else, let's actually watch the trailer.
1874, back to the Wild West. It's a hanging.
It's Hex. We need to stop Turnbull from taking over the West.
The great Jonah Hex.
I'm taking you in.
Let's party!
Are you chewing tobacco? No, Tootsie Roll.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
So as you would have been able to tell from this trailer, we are heading back to the Wild West, as well as meeting our good old friend that we first met in Season 1, that being Jonah Hex. So we start off this trailer with us, the audience obviously, seeing the time aberration detector that we saw launched last episode with Nate Haywood. And as I said earlier, it leads us to the Wild West, where obviously there's a time aberration. But the exact year that they are heading to is 1874. We do see Jonah Hex here in a noose, and correct me if I am wrong, but the way that this sort of execution or hanging goes is that the horse underneath the victim would start running, but the victim would obviously get pulled back by the noose and eventually die. But lucky for Jonah Hex, the legends have arrived just in time to help him out. You can hear Sarah Lance say in the trailer that they need to stop Turnbull from taking over the West. Now Turnbull is actually Quentin Turnbull, who is a common foe for Jonah Hex in the comics. Also, if you have not seen the Jonah Hex film from a few years back, I can't remember what exact year it came out. It's the one that has Megan Fox in it, and they promoted the film because she was the hot thing at the moment because Transformers had just come out. But in reality, she was in the movie for was it 8 minutes? She's hardly in the movie, and she was advertised as a main star. Well, anyway, Turnbull is the main villain in that film as well. I can't remember what actor played him. I think it might have been John Malkovich. It was John Malkovich or someone that looks like John Malkovich. It was one of them. In the comics, and I believe as well as the film, Jonah Hex is believed to have killed Quentin Turnbull's son, who is known as Jeb, which is where tensions obviously still boil between those two, and I would not be surprised if that is the case on the show, and that's where these two have been introduced and why there's a bit of friction between them. Now, I obviously should have said that this is Quentin Turnbull right here before I went on to that information drop, because I was talking about a dude and we did not have a face. But yeah, that's Quentin Turnbull on the TV show. So we are most likely going to get a similar scene to that of the episode last season in the old western bar, where of course a fight breaks out in the bar because, well, it just seems to be what the legends are extremely good at. It's like a specialty for them, just starting fights in bars. They just love doing it. We get a cool shot of Citizen Steel, or Nate Haywood, blocking bullets with his steel hands. You would think he would be quite handy in this era with all those bullets and stuff. Someone did point out that in the last episode, it's like when they were fighting under the White House, that Nate went to steel mode, and then when he had to say a line, they took him out of steel mode, and then as soon as he finished the line, he went back into steel mode. And I think the reason they did that is because maybe they ran out of time trying to do the CGI of making his steel version, making his mouth move. And that just seems like the only option. I don't know why they would take him out of steel mode for a couple of seconds and then put him back into steel mode. Now this part here with Quentin Turnbull may be a hint at the story for this episode. As we see here when he fires his gun, there is a blue coloured bang or discharge, a blue-white sort of colour. So possibly he is manufacturing special weapons with different gunpowder or different ammo or something. Who knows? It might just be the effect that the gun gives, and that's the way it's represented on screen. But yeah, it just looked a bit strange for me. It has a sort of force field or something when it comes out. It almost looks like Rip Hunter's gun from season 1 and obviously the first episode of this season. But it'd be weird if this guy managed to get a similar gun. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We then see the legends here walking down Main Street. I'm just going to call it Main Street. What would you call it in the Wild West? A valley? I don't know. I'm just going to call it Main Street. But one thing to point out is the lack of Professor Stein or Martin Stein. I think it's safe to assume that he may be back in the Wave Rider due to his injuries from last episode, and I just think he's not ready to go out. Also, possibly just to, supervise the Wave Rider itself. You know, just to be on the comms and stuff like that and advise everyone if something bad's happening. It will be interesting to see Jonah Hex's reaction to Rip Hunter not being there. Obviously, we learned last season that Rip Hunter got his trench coat jacket thing from Jonah Hex when he was placed in this time period. So yeah, I do think it's going to be interesting to see what Jonah Hex thinks of Rip's absence. And one quick thing to mention before we end the video, Legends of Tomorrow actually got 4 more episodes added to their season. So they were originally only going to get 13 for their second season, which was 3 less than last season because they had 16 last season. But now they've gone up to 17, so they have 1 more from last season. And I think it actually makes sense if they're going to add 1 more to this season compared to last season, because they've got a much better villain dynamic working with the Legion of Doom. If you didn't know, episode 10 of this season is called Legion of Doom, so you would think that would be the episode where the Legion of Doom is fully formed, so that being Eobard Thawne, Damien Darhk, Malcolm Merlin, and Captain Cold, obviously. So with all of them formed in that episode 10, that gives them 7 episodes after that to wreak as much havoc as they can, but then also the Legends stopping them. And I think if they only had 3 episodes after that episode 10, there'd be a lot of rushing, and I don't think the story would be as good as it could. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments section below what are you looking forward to most in this episode. Are you happy that Legends of Tomorrow has been extended to 17 episodes? I'm pretty happy about it because I was a bit worried about episode 10 being called Legion of Doom and then them only having 3 more episodes after that. So I think it's a good move that they've gone that way. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.